A lonely man makes a simple wish for the girl he loves to love him back. At first, it works perfectly. She falls for him almost overnight, but what starts as a dream quickly turns into a nightmare because her love doesn't stop growing. And soon, she'll be willing to do absolutely anything to keep him forever. Bear is already embarrassing himself before the story even begins. He's at a coffee shop, pouring his heart out to a barista, telling her he's had feelings for this girl since the moment he met her. His friend Ian watches from across the table and finally cuts in. Stop, that was a disaster. The woman was just a stand-in. Bear had been using her to practice what he wants to say to the real girl, a girl named Nikki. The barista actually liked it. Ian gets straight to the point. That confession was a mess. Be looser, more playful. He even suggests calling Nikki by her nickname, Freaky Nikki. Bear refuses immediately. She hates that name. Ian doesn't care. Just invite her for drinks tonight. Bear wants to wait for trivia night, somewhere familiar and low pressure. Ian shuts that down too. Stop stalling. Ian tells him Nikki definitely likes him back. Bear leaves feeling good. That doesn't last. He gets home and finds his cat dead on the floor. She got into his medication. He stands at the fridge for a moment, then closes it and cleans everything up alone. That night, Nikki calls. She apologizes for being quiet all day and asks if he can make trivia night. She has things she needs to say. Bear hesitates, then says no. She doesn't push. She just says she hopes he shows up. He shows up. On the way, Bear stops at a small shop to grab a necklace for Nikki. Something else catches his eye. A strange little item called a Wish Willow. The shopkeeper says they're collectibles, and most people who buy one end up regretting it. Bear laughs it off. Probably people who got exactly what they wanted and couldn't handle it. The shopkeeper doesn't find it funny. Bear buys the willow and leaves. At trivia night, Ian tells him to make his move. Bear follows Nikki to grab shots, and the two fall into easy, natural conversation, but he still doesn't say it. The group joins them, and the moment disappears completely. When the night ends, Nikki says she's tired. Bear walks her home. On the way, she opens up. She needs a real change. She says he's the only person she can say this to. Bear isn't fully listening. He's somewhere else in his head. At her door, she casually mentions there's a guy she's had a crush on for a while. Nobody knows. The whole atmosphere shifts. Bear calls her back and tries to speak. Nothing comes out. She starts walking away. In a panic, he calls after her, Freaky Nikki. She stops, turns around, and tells him clearly not to say that again. Then she asks him straight, does he like her? He can't speak. She goes inside. Bear sits alone in his car, unable to believe what he just did to himself. Then he notices the Wish Willow sitting right beside him. He picks it up and breaks it. He wishes for Nikki to like him more than anything in the world. Nothing happens. Then he looks up, and she's standing completely still in front of her house, staring at him. She invites him inside. For just a second, she seems to notice she's acting strange. Then it's gone. She decides to follow him home instead. He tells her she doesn't have to. She breaks into tears. Her dad is dying, and she can't be alone. They end up at his place. Things turn intimate. Then Nikki suddenly pulls away, frightened. She blames it on a panic attack. The moment collapses. That night, Bear searches everything he can find on the Wish Willow. The internet is split. Half say it's real, half say it's a hoax. Nothing helps. In the morning, she's gone from the bed. He finds her in the kitchen, crouched over his dead cat, performing some kind of farewell ritual with the body. He doesn't ask what she's doing. At work, Ian pulls Bear aside. Bear tells him everything. She stayed over. He's worried. Ian's read is simple. Probably some drug. Get her to a doctor. That evening, Bear watches Nikki leave with Ian instead of him. Later, a knock at the door. It's Nikki. She apologizes and blames the night on something she took. Then she turns back and says she knows he likes her and that she likes him too. Has for a while. From that point on, they're together. Good moments, late nights, movies. Bear loves every second of it. Then one evening at dinner, he asks about her dad. She brushes it off, and his phone rings. It's Ian. Nikki's dad is actually cancer-free, goes to work every day just fine. And weeks before any of this started, Nikki told Sarah plainly, she only ever saw Bear as a younger brother. Bear ends the call and sits back down. Before he can speak, Nikki pulls out a gift, an heirloom from her mother. She tells him she loves him more than anything in the world. Bear sets it on the table and asks quietly whether her dad really had cancer. Nikki stares at him, then starts laughing, saying no, over and over. Something shifts between them. They both feel it. Things get darker fast. The next morning, she's hiding in the corner of the room, refusing to move, screaming that he doesn't love her as much as she loves him. He wakes up another morning to find she cut his hair while he was sleeping. The front door gets taped shut from the inside. At work, Bear is barely functioning. Sarah finds a note Nikki slipped into his jacket about the cat. Bear realizes instantly what Nikki did with the body. He starts throwing up. Bear calls the number on the Wish Willow box. They tell him what he feared most. The love isn't real, can't be changed, can't be reversed. As long as Bear is alive, Nikki stays exactly like this. The man briefly puts her on the line just to make the point. All Bear hears is screaming. He gets home and finds Nikki barely holding herself together. While she showers, he confronts her about the cat, then brings up a boys' night with Ian. The room goes silent. She screams. He invites her along. At the bar, Nikki stays glued to Bear all night. She laughs too hard at every small joke. During a storytelling game, she tells a twisted version of Hansel and Gretel, all the warmth stripped out, replaced with something dark. The room goes quiet. Bear draws a dare. Kiss the person next to him. That's Sarah. Nikki calmly moves Sarah's chair out from under her and leans in herself. Then she stands and announces to the whole room that everyone there is going to die, because no one has ever felt a connection like hers. She grabs a broken bottle and drives it into herself, screaming. The room freezes. Bear takes her home. Alone, he tries to reach whatever part of her is still underneath. She looks at him and says she's his freaky Nikki. He tells her they need space. They scream at each other. He begs her to just be Nikki. She breaks down, repeating it over and over until the words lose all meaning. Then she walks backward into the bedroom in a way that turns his stomach. Seconds later, he hears things breaking. When she comes back, her voice is somewhere far away, talking about letting go, pain slipping away, her mind going quieter and quieter until there's nothing left. Bear wakes up with her in his arms. A message from Sarah, "Come now." He eases out of bed. Nikki's eyes open, but the voice this time is different. It's really her. She whispers for him to just end it. She doesn't want the other version to wake up again. Bear quietly leaves. Sarah tells him Ian has been having an affair with Nikki all along. She thinks this whole situation was Nikki's way of getting back at him. Before Bear can respond, the door opens. Nikki is there. She grabs Sarah, and it's over before either of them can react. Then she turns to Bear, completely calm. "His wish," she says. "His fault. Now help clean it up." They move the body together. Bear drives home alone. Sarah's bloody acceptance letter sits on the passenger seat. She got in. Bear completely falls apart in the car. He goes back to the shop. The attendant says reversing it is impossible, but there's one chance. Someone else could use a Wish Willow to free her. Bear grabs one and tries. It won't budge. He drives to Ian, tells him everything, and hands him the willow. One wish, the only one left. Wish Nikki free. Ian makes a wish. He wishes for $1 billion. Bear collapses. He races home to find a grotesque shrine and Sarah's body. Nikki screams at him. Ian follows Bear inside and tries to reach her. She shoots him without hesitation. Bear screams that he loves her. It brings her back down. He holds her, telling her he'll fix everything. She says they'll be together forever. Then she feels the faint shake of his head, and it starts again. Bear locks himself in the bathroom. If he dies, the wish dies with him. Nikki goes free. He opens the cabinet, tips every pill into his palm, and swallows them all. Outside the door, Nikki's voice repeats softly, "Everything is fine. Everything is fine." He tries to force the pills back up. Then he hears a snap from the other side. He walks out smiling. Nikki found the last Wish Willow and used it herself, wishing for Bear to love her the same way she loves him. They share one quiet moment. Then he collapses. The overdose takes him. Nikki is already reaching for a way to end it herself when something lifts. Whatever had hold of her simply lets go. She comes back to herself, sitting in the middle of everything that happened with no way to undo any of it. She breaks down crying. And with that, the movie ends.
Like if the explanation was good. Any mistakes? Tell us in the comments below.